Welcome to dbDOS Pro 6 Advanced Configuration Development. Let's go ahead and get this started. So what we want to do this time is we want to use the advanced features or the one-page wizard for creating a configuration. So inside of dbDOS, just like we did before, everything starts with a new config. When you click on the new config, you'll get the configuration name and description. Now again, I highly recommend using really descriptive names. So I'm going to use dbDOS Pro 6, and this one I'm going to put a dash and I'm going to say advanced. And then I'm going to say for my configuration description, which I have 250 characters, so you can use them, we're going to say this is for the example program using the advanced wizard. Now notice that I have that, and so now that I have that, I can hit next here, and that would go ahead into the wizard interface, but this time I want to use the advanced. When I click on the advanced, this goes ahead and brings up the advanced interface, and you have the wizard, which will take you back to the advanced, and then it goes back and forth. It's a toggle between the two. You've probably hit the help button to listen to this structure. We have the ability to test our configuration that we're creating. We have the ability to save our configuration, and we have our ability to stop or cancel the configuration. So as you can see, when we come in here, it's set up as a C:> sign, so it thinks it's going to be a command line structure. Now if you went through the video for the wizard, you know that it's a step-by-step process. The advanced interface is that exact same process, just on one screen. So the first thing we had to do in the wizard was to create a mounted path. To create a mounted path, I'm going to come in, I'm going to add the path, I'm going to go ahead and hit my folder, and I'm going to go into the C prompt and go to C. I'll take dbase en, and now that's going to be my home directory set up for C. Again, if I want to create another mounted drive, I can come into here. Let's say I want to use the network this time. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the network. I'll come down here to my cloud, and then I'll pick on the mros db5. And notice that it gives me the network naming convention. I can go ahead and change this to whatever letter I want except for Z, and I can say OK. Notice that now I have a T that's going to be representative of my cloud mros db5. So that's going to be doing that. Now if you wanted to delete this, works the exact same way. Come in, click, notice how it highlights it, then I can say delete, and it'll go ahead and delete that line. Once I have that set up, everything's ready to go forward. Now, I could go ahead and click on the house button to go ahead and create one that will cause an exe to be kicked off, but for this example, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it just as it is, and I'm going to come in here and we're going to go down to our regional settings. Now notice our regional settings say 437. If I hit the down arrow key, I can pick which location I'm at, if so desired. I can also pick the keyboard. If I have a different keyboard, I'm going to be US, and I'm going to be 103 on that. Now, from there, I may want to pick my printing. Now notice we use the enhanced printing. As we explained in the wizard approach, we have the raw, which is for legacy, and that just basically sends the codes right to the printer, bypasses the Windows printer spool. We have a configuration for interpretive printing, which allows us to set fonts and to modify it a little bit. We have enhanced printing, which is a better interpreted printing, plus it allows us to go ahead and get PDF functionality out of it. And we also have a direct printing, which is a better raw. We highly recommend that you start off with the enhanced printing first. Each one of these has special characteristics, so depending on your printouts, you may have to pick different printer options for each one. The great thing is that you can have hundreds of configurations, each with different settings and structures and things like that, to make it work your best way. Now, one of the things about the advanced wizard, or this advanced page structure that we talk about, is that we put additional features, functionalities, and capability into here because we consider it to be advanced. So we can set a default printer if we so desire, But we also have inside of here, we also have the print code page. So there are times when you're printing out ASCII and you want it to have a different code page. So you can use different code pages for different locations for your printout. We also have the ability to add the PCL wrapper. This happens specifically for HP computers, sometimes, or HP printers, excuse me. Sometimes when you get that, you'll get a situation where it will add X12345 or 12345X to your printout. And what it is it's sending some additional codes that the printer doesn't understand, so we have the ability to turn that off for HP printers. And again, it's only going to be used with advanced. You're probably going to be talking to somebody from dbase to go through that process. Now, one thing you may want to do is save it to PDF. So if you click on the Save to PDF, you click the little button, comes up to here. Now again, one of the cool things about the PDF is you can print and save the PDF. So if you want, you can print it and save it, or you can just send it to a directory. If you don't put a directory inside of here, notice we got the little folder there, but we don't have a directory. If you do use PDF and you don't have a directory in there, it's going to ask you every single time, where do you want to put that PDF? If you have a directory for PDF, I highly recommend putting it in there. It makes the process much smoother. You can set your margins, you can set your paper width, all that kind of good stuff. When you're done, you just hit the save button. For that, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the PDF. We don't really need that for right now. And then we also have our rendering engine, right? And we've talked a little bit about the direct draw. It's literally the fastest way for your dbDOS configuration to run. It paints the screen quicker, it takes less memory, and it's really fast. It's about 15% faster than the other options on this list. But it does have a limitation that it only allows you to go in 800 by 600. If you want to change your screen size, I highly recommend using overlay. If you have an NVIDIA card, your graphics card is an NVIDIA card, I go the OpenGL. It's faster than the overlay and it gives you all the capabilities of overlay compared. But you also have the basic, which if you use basic, you don't have full screen mode. I don't recommend using full screen mode. I would keep it at overlay at least. Direct draw on the top. If you want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and print overlay. We're going to keep this as it is. Notice the resolution is that. Let's go ahead and change that resolution to 1024 by 768. And then notice we have a scaler here. Now this is also to show you how to change the screen and how it scales when it gets expanded. You can set it to various things. Notice that if we open this up, we have all kinds of different things that we can set it to. Each one of them have their own idiosyncrasies to them. For this one, I'm just going to hit no. Now, we do also have some customers that have old dbDOS 3 Plus, and they don't like dynamic core and they don't like 386. So what they want is auto. And then they also want to change dynamic to normal or simple for them, because that will make it run better for them. Also, in the advanced, we have a custom execution, so you can come in here and do your auto exec and get it cleaned up a little bit. We also have one other advanced feature, which is the open status window at startup. So I'm going to go ahead and say do that. And when we're done with that, we can just go ahead and hit the save button. When we hit the save button, this will come back in. Notice there is our advanced, and if I bring this over here, there's our advanced structure right here. So you can see the two. This one was made with the wizard. This one was made with the advanced wizard, the single page wizard. And a couple of things inside of here. We set it to overlay, so it should be bigger. And we also said to open up the status window. So double click on it. This will go ahead and kick this off. Here in a second, when the window pops up, you'll notice that we actually have multiple windows. So the first window that pops up is a little status window that goes along with it. And since I made this a little bit bigger, it's also going to give us the larger size window. So I can go ahead and hit exit from here. And this time I want to go back into that configuration. So I'm going to go click on the edit configuration. I'm going to go advanced. And now I'm going to slide this down to the bottom. And I'm going to say, let's use direct draw. Even if I have this set at 1024 by 768, it's not going to matter. It's going to automatically default back down to 800 by 600, and I'm going to turn off that status window. So when I'm done with that, I hit the save button. This time I can just go ahead and click the little blue arrow. It'll kick this off. Now, a couple of things you'll notice. Number one, the screen is going to be back to that smaller size again, and it also does not have that other window. And if I come in here and I say dbase and hit enter, here in a second it'll come up with the dbase structure. Very easy to read. The fonts are incredibly crisp. It's really easy to read from that standpoint. Now, if I say file exit and then type in exit again, it will go ahead and exit out of this. If I hit the little red arrow button, it's going to pop up a little window that says, are you sure you want to close it? You know, it's looking for those extra things. If you do, just say yes, and it's ready to go. So that shows you how to use the advanced single page wizard. We have both in there. If you want to go through the step-by-step, we have that. If you want to use the single page, you can have that. What I really want to say is thanks for supporting dbDOS Pro 6. Hope you enjoy it. We really think it's killer, and thanks a lot for listening. Have a good one.